The sun is really bright through that window and it's washing out my face. Heyo! My name is Anderson Carmen. I'm an illustrator and comic book artist, and today I'm going to tell you how you, yes you, can become a patron of the arts. Now, before I get to the how, we need to answer a few other questions. First, what is a patron? We'll just look up the definition real quick. Patron Definition. A patron is a person who gives financial or other support to a person, organization, cause, or charity. I burped. So yes, a patron is someone who supports a local business or an artist or an organization, whatever that list I just mentioned, usually financially. But there are other ways that patrons can be helpful as well, and we'll get into that later. But who are you supposed to patronize? The who is a really tricky part, okay? Because it feels like stocks, right? Why should I invest in this guy or this guy? I don't know who's gonna grow and who's gonna just completely flop. Here is the fundamental rule to who you choose to patronize. Artwork that you like. I can't stress this enough. You should not patronize someone because you think someday somebody will see value in it. Don't buy a piece of art because the market says it's valuable. If you don't like Picasso, don't buy Picasso. If you love Picasso, get yourself a Picasso. I mean, it's probably really expensive these days, but the point is, you should buy art because you connect with the art. Not because someone else does, not because you think someone else will, but because you connect with it. Additionally, you can pick artists that you like. Because remember, it's also about that relationship. It's not just about the artwork that's going to hang on your wall. But hopefully, when you get a piece of artwork from an artist and you hang it on your wall, when you see it on your wall, you think, I remember that artist. He was a cool guy. She was awesome. And remembering that relationship brings an extra level of joy into your life. Well, here's another question. Why should you be a patron? You get art. Art is a very important part of the human experience. It helps brighten our world. It gives new life to a blank wall. It can inspire us to our own creativity, to broaden our own horizons, to look into things that we normally wouldn't look into, or express things we wouldn't normally express. The other major benefit that you get as a patron of the arts is you get to see the arts go out into the world and get a bigger audience. Renoir, Monet, Pissarro, Millet, Cézanne, Manet, Rodin, Cassette, Courbet, Degas. Any of these ringing a bell? All of these artists were plucked from obscurity by this man, Paul de Ron-Ruel. He was a French art collector in the mid-1800s, and he is pretty much solely responsible for supporting all of these incredibly famous Impressionist artists and bringing them to prominence through his patronage. In that day, the only way that artists could get in front of people was through the salon system, which was this very exclusive gallery show network. But all of the Impressionists were not welcome. Paul, however, had an eye and saw the value and the steps that these artists were taking, the risks and the new genre of art that they were building, Impressionism, and he decided to take a chance on them. Monet's Impressionism sunrise would have been much more of a sunset if it hadn't been for Duran Raoul. Still not positive on that. If it weren't for his financial backing that helped launch the Impressionism movement into the stratosphere. Speaking of launch, this leads into the third question. When do you patronize someone? Like a lot of other investments, the earlier you buy and the cheaper you buy, the better the investment has a chance to grow. So when an artist is early in their career, their prices are most likely the lowest that they'll ever be. And as they grow as an artist, so will the value of that painting, or drawing, or illustration, or book, or whatever. Investing in an artist early is a great chance to do both of those why questions of building them up, as well as getting some artwork of your own that has great value later down the road. But, and this is a big but, I mean, we're talking like huge. Every great artist has a journey that they go on over the course of their career, and this usually involves changes in their visual style. The obvious example that everyone thinks of with this is Picasso. He started painting like this, and then in the middle, he painted like this, and by the end, he was painting like this. Which one's the most valuable? It's kind of hard to say. He doesn't paint like his early work anymore. He's known for his cubism. So maybe it's the cubist stuff that's more valuable, but this is not how he does it anymore. So yes, there is value in investing in an artist early in their career for you, because it's usually cheaper, but it is important to maintain that relationship, especially if you continue to love the artwork that they're putting out. But the relationship is the valuable part. Seeing where my art ends up throughout the years. That's something that I care about. Everything that I draw, that I create, I would like to know the story that it has. Nothing warms my heart more than hearing about the time that one of my friends went to the zoo and his kids were looking for the green flamingo because they read my children's book. That is what it's all about as a creator. All right, we're down to the final question. How to be a patron of the arts. There are 3 ways that you can patronize the arts: financially, vocally, and relationally. Financially is the most obvious one, right? I have a Patreon now. I'd love if you would support me on that. That's just kind of obvious, right? You give money and you get something back. I thought long and hard about the rewards that I would give for the different tiers in my Patreon, because I want to make sure that you get the most bang for your buck, that you see value in giving art to me and supporting my career as an artist. For those of you that can't support an artist financially, there's still 2 great ways that you can support. By supporting an artist vocally, nowadays that's kind of been misconstrued and changed into share me on Facebook. Really what I mean by vocally though is telling the artist, hey, I really like this piece. And if you can be more specific, that's even greater. Really the best way that you can engage vocally with artists is by asking questions. If there's ever something in an artwork that you don't understand, starting a conversation is a great way to engage with the artist. And it's a good boost for most artists because we want to talk about our artwork. A lot of us are introverts, so we don't really want to talk to people. But if you talk to us about our art, it's usually pretty cool. And both of those kind of tie into the last piece, relationship. Several of the tiers on my Patreon include ways that you can communicate directly with me, get one-on-one time. Burped again. I mean, if you want this many burps in your life, then you should definitely patronize. But building that relationship is really at the core of patronage. I'm gonna get all whispery. Maybe that'll sound more intense and we'll connect more. No, I'm not doing that. If you like a piece of art and you can't buy it from someone, at least tell the artist you love it. And then tell a friend you love it. And tell them to tell a friend you love it. And share. Share the artwork that you see that you love. And hopefully it gets in front of people that can financially support an artist. Anyway, those are my ramblings on how to be a patron of the arts. I hope that you will. In the future, I plan to make a video about my own original art collection and tell you how I chose these pieces, why I chose these pieces. I'd also like to share with you some of my artwork, how I figure out how to price it, how I figure out when an art piece is done, stuff like that. A lot of this stuff is going to be exclusive on my Patreon, and I hope that you'll come along and join and that you'll see the added benefit there. Ooh, my wife just got home. I gotta talk to you later. Bye.